Olá pessoal, tudo bem? Aqui fala é o Miguel e a gente vai ver esse vídeo mais bonito, mais legal de todos. Pra quem ama luta ou futebol, que futebol eu vou gravar futebol de pés de 2017. Mas vamos ver isso daqui primeiro.
Boss, definitely no stranger to mixed martial arts. He is the UFC light heavyweight champion, Randy the Natural Couture. And he is now presenting a bouquet of flowers to Wanderlei Silva and Mark Hunt. And we know the situation surrounding Wanderlei Silva and Randy Couture. And he'll be joining us here momentarily, Mr. Couture will, to describe the action along with us in this very interesting matchup. Mark Hunt is 30, 5'11", 275 pounds, 1-1 in Pride Fighting Championships.
Congratulations.
The Pride World Middleweight Champion, Wanderlei Silva, is 28, 5'11", 203 pounds, undefeated, 18-0, 1-1 in Pride Fighting Championships, and there is the trademark stare down from Wanderlei Silva. And as we watch Hunt and Silva stare each other down, it is our extreme pleasure to welcome to the broadcast the UFC light heavyweight champion, Randy the Natural Couture. Randy, welcome. And my friend, I know that you know Wanderlei Silva very well. What do you make of this situation here tonight? It was supposed to be Kazushi Sakuraba, but instead he is taking on a much bigger fighter in Mark Hunt.
Yeah, that's true, and a much bigger striker, and I think in some ways maybe a better striker than Wanderlei. So we're going to see what kind of ground skills Wanderlei can pull out if he can get a takedown and put this on the ground. I'm not sure he wants to stand up with a guy that big.
Yeah, and that hot of a head also. I mean, the guy's pretty much impossible to knock out. I mean, Coco kicked him full in the head. It was an 8 count.
It's going to be very interesting. He's shaping up here.
Silva was quoted as saying he would be willing to go toe-to-toe with the kickboxing great in Hunt. What would be your strategy, Randy, in a situation like this?
He'd be the fastest double leg you ever saw in your life.
Oh no, I thought the fastest guy who can run circles.
Silva is outweighed by some 70 pounds. Again, last-minute substitution. Missing with the 1-2 combination was Silva.
Wow, this is going to be something. There's no way this is going to go to the...
This was a shot attempt and the takedown by Wanderlei.
And
this is good.
Good
for Wanderlei.
Strategy as implored by Randy Couture. And here you have it on the ground, Randy.
Now let's see what he's got. I mean, this is interesting. We don't see him spend much time here. He generally finishes his fight in a standing position with clinch, Muay Thai clinch and knees. And obviously with a guy that's that big, I don't know that you want to be there.
No, I think for him right now this is perfect. He should push himself away. Like I always say, create some distance and go for the strikes.
He's going for the full mount.
In the half guard right now of Mark Hunt. And for Mark Hunt, again, being from a kickboxing background, has been training in MMA, but now missing with a soccer kick with Silva.
And Hunt doing a good job of getting back to his feet and taking this fight on short notice. I wonder what the gas tank is like for Mark Hunt.
Yeah, it's going to be less, of course, than Wanderlei Silva. But 70 pounds weight difference also is going to make him more tired, faster tired than Wanderlei Silva.
But you have to credit someone like Mark Hunt to come in at the last minute, knowing what's at stake. It's really a win-win situation for Hunt either way, isn't it, guys? Because here he is, the biggest event of the year for Pride. And he knocks Silva down with that left hand. And Silva pops up and smiles, Randy.
Ooh, that was the dandy.
Whoa.
And he just grazed him with that and still knocked him down.
Yeah, you have to respect Hunt's striking ability.
Oh, big uppercut.
You don't become...
Another takedown by Wanderlei. Beautiful job pulling those legs out.
And there's
looking
the
for the head stomp. Soccer kick misses.
Man, we are seeing a battle, my friends. And this is what the fans wanted to see.
Wanderlei, man. He's something special. Wow.
Nothing more than to stomp a mud hole in you.
Missing with the wild right was Mark Hunt. And you guys talked about the fact that Wanderlei closes the gap again. That one guys sent Hunt to the
Nice
ropes.
little right hand by Mark Hunt.
Hunt has never been knocked out, Randy.
See why? Look at that cranium.
The fans now chant Silva.
Oh my gosh. Wanderlei willing to stand and trade. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's no surprise that he took this fight. Look,
Another nice shot by Wanderlei.
Yep.
And the takedown.
Changes off to the
Into
trip.
side control. So it's interesting, Randy and Boss, that he's doing what you guys said he should, and you're not surprised. So a guy, pound for pound, and Randy, you're right up there as well, one of the toughest fighters on the planet. Silva's doing what he needs to do against a guy like Hunt.
He is. He needs to put this fight on the ground where he has an advantage. This is not Mark Hunt's game. Being on his back, being on the ground. It's not where he wants to be.
So having said that, then, Boss, what does Mark Hunt have to do against a guy like Silva from this vantage point right now?
From now, he needs to know how to escape the situation.
Well, again,
Yeah,
but said that. What can he do from here?
Okay, stick your left arm underneath and then buck up and explode yourself out of the back door. That's a way to try. We saw Satorio do it today.
Yeah, you see a right underhook with that right arm and then start to circle towards that underhook and try to get some elevation, get back to his feet.
There you go.
And there he
Problem is,
tries.
every time he does it, he risks getting kicked in the head.
True. And with Hunt, armbar, here we go. It's going to be over.
Lock there.
It's going to be over. That's it.
And we saw this against Yoshida. Unbelievable escape there by Mark Hunt.
But you know what? I saw Wanderlei Silva armbarring Sakuraba. So I really think that this is going to come up now too. But
Beautiful escape by Hunt. Now, is this where the weight advantage, the extreme weight advantage, comes into play for Hunt in a position like this, Randy?
I'll tell you, having just trained with Rulon Gardner for a couple of weeks, when you get a guy that big on top of you, it is very hard to get out from underneath him.
let alone breathing. But you know what? Mark Hunt has great feeling for mixed martial arts, like we saw in his fight against Yoshida. So I think that if Wanderlei is going to try an armbar attempt, he might escape and go to the sideline.
And we just saw up there from that key lock, a sublime escape. And let's see what Silva can do now from the guard.
Somebody's bleeding. I'm seeing a little blood on Wanderlei's chest that might be coming from Mark Hunt.
Silva striking from the bottom. What do you think of Hunt's performance thus far, Randy? Again, having taken this fight on 3 days' notice.
Oh, triangle.
Triangle attempt, but Hunt's not having it. And Mark Hunt's showing a lot of natural ability for MMA here. He's a great natural athlete. And, look at those shots. Oh, big up kicks by Wanderlei.
And now Hunt's taking a page out of Silva's playbook, going for the stomp.
Oh, my gosh. The atomic butt drop.
The atomic butt drop. You heard it from Randy, the natural couture.
275 pounds.
You will make note of that, Randy, and add it to the dictionary of MMA. The atomic butt drop. I think you have to add it to the big books of combat, the next edition there, Bob.
I will be good. No, actually, it was not a knockout, so I'm not going to do it.
Wanderlei back on top now. Let's see if Mark can scramble and find a way back to his feet. I'll tell you what, he's aggressive. You gotta like that.
Yep.
But Wanderlei getting a breather now after having 270 pounds on top of him for a couple of minutes there.
If Mark Hunt had more experience in MMA, Boss, and Randy, right now, is there any opportunity, again, we're talking about Wanderlei Silva, but is there any opportunity or any opening you see right now, watching from this point where he might be able to exploit?
I think the biggest thing is he's kind of catching his breath, but he's got his feet closed and closed guard.
Gente, agora essa parte 1. Obrigado por ter assistido.